EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he returns this to the 22. At their own 22-yard line.
Home already. Ready.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And a short pickup to about the 25. Well, look at this Steeler defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Second down and 8.
180.
Here's Jackson to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Norton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
DC, right? Let's go. 180.
Here's Jackson. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and they're flailing a hand to knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Ravens nothing. Set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 6.
Alpha, sit on. 180.
They go play action with Jackson. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Even with that broken tackle, can't get very far. Stops short of the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Hey, Alpha, sit hot.
Now Jackson. That is caught. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. The Ravens sitting at a very solid. And 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Sit hot. Sit hot. 180. Sit hot.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You look at this Steeler defense, and they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I think with as good as their coverage is, and they're also excellent tacklers, they try to keep things in front of them and either make the tackle or you have to run out of bounds because there's nowhere to go. They'll let them dink and dunk all day long.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
180. Sit hot. Sit hot.
Another run with Mitchell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
He finds his man complete. That's Burke. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now a 2nd and 10.
180. What?
Touchdown. Lamar Jackson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that come.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech. But I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's 2nd and 3. Keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 7-7, our score after one. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Franklin. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
First down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
That's another Steelers first down.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. is. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7.
Ravens 7. Andy Borregales set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
Sit hot! Sit hot! Sit hot!
To throw is Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Mitchell will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Jackson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Jackson now. They'll try to do this. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Franklin. He's got his target. That's complete. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
Ravens 7. Andres Borregales set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Hey, Alpha, sit hot! Sit hot!
Play action. It's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Norton.
16 yards.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This time Jackson will throw it. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Jackson. They'll run the screen to Mitchell. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
12 more yards. That's another Baltimore first down. 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Norton. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
At the 17-yard line.
On the draw, here's Mitchell. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. Did he get the feet down? Yes. Touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Look at the juke. Flashes and breaks the tackle. Now Allen. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
28-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Well, looks like they'll move things around here. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
1 yard gain.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and 9. the gun. They'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second and 6. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. The slot man in motion right. From the gun on 3rd down. Franklin. He'll try and do this himself. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Hey,
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Throwing is Jackson. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
First down, here's Mitchell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Jackson. He finds his man complete. It's Norton. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And holding it, maybe the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. On the counter, Mitchell. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 47 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Steelers 31. Ravens 21. Tyler Luke to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 129 yards for him on the ground now as he is 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty. Didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the gun on third down, Franklin. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So potentially a turning point here in the third quarter as that swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines, tackle him, second guy in, tackle the ball.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They coming off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. That cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a second down and 4.
And
he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Quick strike out wide by Jackson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And running with power here. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Franklin. And that's going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this drive will start in enemy territory as that gets out of bounds on this side of the 50.
46-yard line.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2nd and a couple.
At the 38-yard line.
Here's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. A good pickup there, 21 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Mitchell. And he'll get about 6 there before he is taken down rather rudely and abruptly.
A 6-yard pickup.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, get me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. They'll try to run with Mitchell. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Geez, the second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
They'll try to run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Second down and 4.
Shut up.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. This second and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll just get rid of it.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Franklin. Able to find the open man. That's complete. 20. 5. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Steelers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
13. Ready.
Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Well, they're going option play on 3rd down. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
180.
One last shot for Jackson. That is caught. And he is going to have a Ravens 1st down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for Pittsburgh, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home